Disclaimer. This video's information is being provided for informational, educational, and general interest purposes only. The information in this video is not intended to shock, enrage, or otherwise provoke the viewer. The sole purpose of this video was to raise awareness of true crime-related events. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
To Herman Hospital last night, investigators were combing the garage of her home in Atascocita. Neighbors told investigators that they heard the first gunshot,
followed by a scream and then another second quick gunshot. And then a suspect was seen hiding by a tree. The vehicle came around the corner and picked him up and left.
Investigators, though, found no evidence of robbery or sexual assault or any other motive for the shooting. That's when they began questioning Bob Fratta, the victim's estranged husband. Relatives say Fratta and his wife had been in a bitter battle over custody of their 3 children for 2.5 years.
We talked to at least 2 people that she's made the statement that he said she'd be dead before she'd get out of the marriage.
Fratta was released this afternoon to a battery of cameras and microphones after 14 hours of questioning. He seemed unfazed, though he immediately accused sheriff's deputies of violating his civil rights.
Was not allowed to make any calls. I mean, I thought they might have had a tape somewhere in the room. I kept saying into the tape what time it was, and I want to call an attorney. I was completely denied all that. Like I said, I was beaten, and this was ridiculous. And
he's lying. He's been lying all night. I mean, y'all ask him about calling the attorney. Who's your attorney? He doesn't even have an attorney.
The 3 children were with Bob Fratta last night during the shooting. It was his regular Wednesday night visitation. According to family members, usually he takes the children to dinner, but last night he told sheriff's deputies that they all went to church. When he did arrive with the children well after the shooting, according to family members, he showed no emotion and no sorrow.
When I first got there, I initially thought it was a drug raid. Everybody looked calm. Nobody was frantic about anything. I saw everything taped off, and I thought I saw Farr. I still don't know who it was that I saw, but I thought it was Farr standing there. I was going to actually walk up to her and joke, "Oh, what do you got, a drug raid going on here?"
Fratta is a fireman and police officer at Missouri City. Sheriff's deputies say he knows the routine. Fratta even played to the cameras, wiping a speck of blood from his face after making his accusations about civil rights abuses.
He knows how it goes. He's well aware of his rights. He's well aware of what we can and cannot do. He knows how to make problems, and he's just been real amused by this whole thing.
Farrah Fratta died last night at Herman Hospital of a gunshot wound to the head. Deputies describe it as execution style. Dan Locke, 11 News.
911, what's your emergency?
In the midst of a bitter divorce and custody dispute, a former suburban Houston police officer hired 2 people to kill his estranged wife almost 30 years ago. He was put to death on Tuesday. At the state penitentiary in Huntsville, Robert Fratta, 65, was given a lethal injection in retaliation for shooting his wife Farrah in November 1994. At 7:49 p.m., 24 minutes after the fatal dosage of the potent sedative pentobarbital started to flow into his arms, he was declared dead. Barry Brown, Fratta's spiritual advisor, prayed for roughly 3 minutes prior to the execution while Fratta was strapped to the death chamber gurney and had intravenous needles inserted into each arm. With Fratta's right hand resting on his own, Brown begged for prayers for hearts that have been broken, for people who grieved and those who will grieve in days ahead, placing his prayer book on the pillow next to Fratta's head. "Be merciful to Bobby," he prayed to God. When the warden asked if Fratta had any closing remarks, he said, "No." As the deadly drug started, Brown went back to praying, and Fratta closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and snorted 6 times loudly. Then everything stopped moving. According to the prosecution, Fratta planned the murder-for-hire scheme in which Howard Guidry, the gunman, was hired by Joseph Pricedash, a middleman. In the Atascocita neighborhood of Houston, Fratta, 33, was shot twice in the head in the garage of her house. Missouri City Public Safety Officer Robert Fratta had always maintained his innocence. The penalty was postponed for barely over an hour until the U.S. Supreme Court and the Texas Supreme Court and Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, Texas' highest courts, dismissed the last of several last-day appeals. Fratta's attorneys made the fruitless claim that the prosecution had concealed information showing a trial witness had been put under hypnosis by detectives, changing her first account of seeing two men and a getaway driver at the crime scene. The prosecution claims that neither new identification nor information was obtained during the hypnosis. According to court documents, they also claim that Fratta had frequently stated his wish to see his wife dead and had asked a number of acquaintances if they knew anyone who could kill her. He even reportedly told one friend, "I'll just kill her, and I'll do my time, and when I get out, I'll have my kids." For the killing, Price, Dash, and Guidry were also placed on death row. Fratta was also one of 4 death row inmates in Texas who filed a lawsuit to prevent the use of what they claim are dangerous and out-of-date execution drugs in the state's prison system. The Supreme Court and lower courts had previously denied appeals from Fratta's attorneys, who sought to review their arguments that the jury instructions and insufficient evidence were used to convict him. However, that lawsuit also failed late on Tuesday. Additionally, his lawyers made the fruitless claims that a juror in his case was not unbiased and that ballistics evidence did not link him to the murder weapon. The Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles unanimously decided against giving Fratta a 60-day reprieve or reducing his death sentence. Fratta was originally given the death penalty in 1996, but a federal judge reversed his conviction after finding that his co-conspirators' confessions shouldn't have been allowed to be used as evidence. Trial evidence showed Fratta to be egotistical, misogynistic, and vile, with a callous desire to kill his wife, the judge wrote in the same ruling. 2009 saw a retrial and a death sentence. Crime Stoppers of Houston's Director of Victim Services and Advocacy, Andy Kahan, stated that Robert and Farrah Fratta's 3 children were raised by their late father, Lex Bacher, who passed away in 2018. Witnesses to Fratta's demise included Bradley Bacher, Farrah's brother, Zane Bacher, and Kahan. They were standing at a window leading to the death chamber, but Fratta never gave them a look or an acknowledgement. Following the execution, Kahan declared, "Bob was a coward in 1994 when he arranged the murder of his estranged wife for hire. And tonight, more than 28 years later, he remained a coward. He knew his son was watching this, and he seized the chance to at least offer his son an olive branch. And yet he continued to take the cowardly route. He could have expressed regret." Fratta was the 2nd prisoner executed in the United States and the 1st in Texas this year. Later this year, Texas has 8 more scheduled executions.
I think it's DIETZ. Who,
Where does he live?
I don't know. Maybe her parents know.
Does he live there with her?
You know, he stays there quite a bit, but
Was he there earlier when you got there?
no, when I got there, y'all were there. He was there Sunday night when I dropped the kids off.
When did you pick the children up this time?
Picked Amber up. I guess I picked Amber up about 4:45, something like that. And then Bradley and Daniel about 5 o'clock.
Why different times?
Well, because Amber was over at my mother-in-law's and Bradley and Daniel were at school.
Pick the boys up from school.
Right.
So the way you normally do it?
It varies sometimes. On Tuesdays and on Thursdays when I pick them up, Amber will be at the babysitter's, Janet Vaughn.
How many days a week do you get them?
1. And like I said, I get them weekends too.
1 weekday? 1 weeknight?
Right, one weeknight and then every 3rd weekend.
Where does Janet live?
Sweetcomb Forest, I think is the name of it. It's in the Pinehurst. It's right down the street from her mother. Her mother well.
Who's the mother? Who's the mother?
Her name is Betty Backer, Baquer.
And her phone number?
852-5448.
Where does she live?
I think it's 17th Green. I don't know the numbers. I mean, I can show you how to get there. Or 17th Fairway, something like that.
Where's Annapolis Southern?
Pinehurst.
Did you arrange with your ex-wife to pick your kids up at the times that you told me that you picked them up?
I'm supposed to pick them up at 6, but I've always picked them up earlier.
You say you arranged to pick them up when you did?
Not really. It's just
Were you expected to pick them up?
Oh yeah, I'm always expected to pick them up, but I just always pick them up before 6. It's something I started from day one pretty much and just kept on doing. I used to always coach the soccer, so I'd pick them up early. And
what time does your wife get home, or your ex-wife get home from work?
at 6 o'clock.
Where does she work?
She works for American Airlines City Ticket Offices. The last time she paged me, whatever, it was to one on at the Marriott Hotel, the JW Marriott.
Which one?
That's the only one I know of. I mean, that she told me is the JW Marriott. I've got the phone number for it, but I think it's the Galleria. Yeah, the JW Marriott is the Galleria.
How long have you been divorced?
February 27th of 92.
How long had you been married?
9 years.
When were you married?
On May 7th, 1983.
We've got Amber. How old is she?
Amber is 4.
And your sons?
Bradley is 7. At the end. And Daniel is 6.
They have your last name?
Yes.
Where were you born?
In New York.
How long have you been in Texas?
Since 80, so 14 years.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
You never been arrested either in New York or here?
Yeah, I knew to run that red light you did.
I'm sorry?
So I knew to run that red light you did.
Yeah. Have you ever been a suspect in any kind of crime?
Yeah, the last time she, had a stunt like this, yeah, I guess it's on file with y'all. I think they titled it a robbery. And then talked to me about that.
When did that happen?
I guess it's been like 6 months now.
What happened?
Well, I never really got the straight story. According to my children, somebody came in the house, bypassing the alarm system and everything else, did nothing, but, according to Farah, what she told detectives was that he said that he was there to, quote, this is what they said to me, have my ass in a sling. Yet, I'm listed in the phone book. I'm easy to get to, so I don't know. But so yeah, I never did understand that one. I thought that was a stunt that she was pulling.
What month did that happen in?
I honestly honestly don't remember. It'll be on file with you, although just if you punch in the address. I've got it written down. It's not
This is VW out here. This is yours.
Yeah.
What's the license plate number?
I don't know. Sorry. I just got it. 72.
You own any other cars?
I want a Jeep CJ7. I don't know the plate to that either. It's an 80 model.
What type of work do you do?
Work for the city of Missouri City.
What do you do?
Public safety officer. Combination firefighter, police officer.
You're a police officer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Can I see your ID?
I don't have it with me.
What shift do you work on?
I work a firefighter shift at 24 on, 48 off.
Who's your supervisor?
It would be Lieutenant John Sheffield.
What's your wife's name?
Farah, F-A-R-A-H.
Last name?
Fratta, F-R-A-T-T-A.
What's your middle name?
Famida, F-A-M. I think I-D-A. There may be an H somewhere in there, I'm not positive, because she never uses it. Her date of birth is 8/5/61.
You've been separated since when?
Since February 27th of 92.
Had any problems with it?
With her?
Yeah.
Well, aside from the incident of that deal, I had called the constables out a couple of weeks ago, and that's when I met the one guy that was there tonight for her letting Daniel run away, or actually telling him to go, but whatever. Also, something strange, which I recorded. Bradley called me Sunday night, mentioning that he was very upset, he was crying, he said that he didn't want the bad man to kill me. And
Didn't want the bad man to kill
he didn't
him.
want the bad man to kill me. And that he didn't want me to die. And these are just quotes from him. And I honestly thought, because, I half joked around with the detectives with the deal that Farr claimed last time, that she's got some shady sides of the family that live here in Houston from Grand. And I honestly thought that she was, and I half joked about it, like I said, that she was setting me up for a hit. And so I thought, and Farr's boyfriend was there when I dropped him off Sunday night, so when Bradley called me, I thought he overheard a conversation between her and her boyfriend. Because the other coincidental thing too was last week, I ran into her boyfriend at Sam's boat on Richmond, and some girl there apparently knew him and said that he does drugs. And I can't remember if she said deals drugs or what. So when I first pulled up today and saw the cop cars and the tape around everything, I honestly thought it was a drug raid. Now the other thing is, I have, and I'm trying to remember what they are, a diary, several tapes, and a $1,000 check that were taken out of my house. And I honestly felt that somehow she was behind that, because the diary was strictly for the divorce, the tape was strictly for the divorce. $1,000 check was no good, but whoever saw it maybe.
Why do you think she would take your diary, your $1,000 check, and your tag?
At first, I didn't. I thought I misplaced them somehow. But then, all these things I was remembering afterwards. I came home one morning, and I always call forward my phone to my voicemail before I leave the house in the morning, and I leave like 10 to 6. I came home one day and hit my redial to listen to my messages, and when I hit redial, Farr's answering machine picked up, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, and I just dialed my number. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me, like a week or two later, just hit me right between the eyes, like, wait a second, what the hell was her number doing on my redial? Because when I left for work, I didn't call her. Follow what I'm saying? I called my voicemail. That's the only number I got.
What reason would she have to come to your house and take the time?
And here again, this is a little wacky. I just felt like I had a messload of tape recorded conversations with her throughout this divorce, and a lot of them were very incriminating with her.
How were they going to incriminate her?
That her going to be lying to the judge, her saying she would lie to the judge.
What was going to be the end result of all this?
Maybe she thought she was going to lose the custody of the kids. We're battling for custody.
Yeah, right now.
Right. And that's why I figured you had me down here. You figure I'm got something to do with it because we're battling for custody. So,
I assumed there was some kind of a custody settlement when you got your divorce.
No, the divorce is finalized.
I thought it was final. When's it going to be final?
No. Well, we're supposed to have trial towards the end of the month. That's why I'm trying to get all my tapes and everything in order now. And I'm missing some real important ones. I'm missing an assault tape. She tried to file assault. Oh, that's something else too. She tried to file assault on me. And I wish you could have heard the tape, but the constable did hear it because he came over to my house and heard it. That's a long story. I don't know if you want to know that. But anyhow, that's one of the tapes that's missing, is the deal that I had the tape recorded in my pocket for that whole assault deal. And the cop listened to it and realized that, hey, she assaulted me. So it was totally the other way around, and she tried to file charges on me. So, like I said, she's just kind of strange that way. She's pulled several stunts, and like I said, to me, I'm finding weird stuff. Oil is being drained out of my Jeep. Just stupid little things kept on happening to me over and over again. And like I said, I just kind of sat there sleeping with my gun by my bed and everything else. And you can ask any of my girlfriends the way I sleep. It's ridiculous because I honestly felt that she was trying to pull something on me. That's why I'm shocked as shit that this happened with her. And that's why, I don't know if her boyfriend's car is in the garage, if he had anything to do with it, or if something backfired on her because maybe she honestly was trying to do something to me, or what the hell the deal is. I have no idea. But nobody, all my friends know the bullshit I've been through. A buddy of mine, he borrowed my key one time, to go into my house. Now, see, everybody knows I work a 24-hour shift, so it's easy if you want to go into my house. You know, I mean, she knows when I'm going to be home, when I'm not going to be home. So the one day I was working my 24-hour shift, a buddy of mine went into my house to take a shower, and he heard people in my house that opened the door and boogied out and left. Now, and plus, I was missing a bottle of wine out of that stupid ordeal too.
Is there any forced entry?
No, that's the other thing too, is I'm a little unorganized, but I had like several keys in this one drawer of mine, like that 4 extra keys, and this is all kind of recently that I'm noticing this stuff, okay? Because it just never dawned on me I was possibly being burglarized here. I just thought I was losing my mind. So I'm missing several keys. So whoever is coming in is just waltzing right in. I just like last week, and I just talked to my attorney's associate because I wanted to see if I should try to file some sort of burglary. I found forced entry to the garage door that I never use, but I didn't notice it, so I have no idea when it occurred because you'd have to see my house. That's the reason why I was hoping to come over to my house. I was going to show you different things and play that tape for you. That's my son and everything else, but I also didn't know if we have any questions to ask and everything. But so whoever came in came in through my garage. I also had a nail like here in the doorway to that one door that's gone, so I know when somebody came in. But here again, I never noticed it because I put that nail in a year and a half ago and never even.
What reason was somebody had to come in your house like that?
Either first of all, I've got nothing to steal, but like I said, the only things I'm missing, all right, that bottle of wine the one time when somebody came in, when my buddy was there, the tapes, my diary, which my diary was strictly for the divorce. It was strictly divorce diary. I don't keep diaries. And the check, like I said, that was just a random check that made out to me. So I have no idea. No TVs taken, no VCRs taken.
Was the check ever cashed?
No, it was a bad check.
Did you ever file a report?
No, I just found all this out relatively recently, and that's why I told my attorney. And to me, I didn't know how I was going to prove this because at first I just thought I misplaced everything. And it wasn't until last week that I happened to notice my garage door.
I still don't understand why somebody would come in your house.
You and me both. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Well, it seems that if they had that much access to you, they'd just kill you.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been saying to my friends too. It's like somebody's fucking with me, but not trying to kill me. And that's why when Bradley called me up Sunday.
You're a police officer?
Yeah.
How long ago did you realize you were being fucked with, as you put it?
It was 2 months ago, something like that.
2 months ago.
Well, no. Well, Ray's deal was maybe a month ago, something like that.
And you haven't done anything to prove that you're being fucked with?
I had to prove it. I just last week noticed the door.
Well, you're a cop.
Yeah. And I sleep with my
You know as well as I do, there are ways to prove that, such as cameras. I'm sure your department will help you out.
I am broke, big guy. I mean, I've got nothing. My wife's got this. Yeah, cops are on both sides of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't see anything. Let me put it this way. When my buddy went into my house, there were no cars there.
Where'd you go to high school?
New York.
In New York? What's the name of the high school?
W.T. Clark. It says C-L-A-R-K-E.
Where is it at?
It's Westbury, Long Island.
Westbury? What year did you graduate?
79. 20 years.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, Nassau College in New York also.
And what'd you major in?
Just liberal arts, got a 2-year degree.
2-year degree? Associates in Arts?
Just Associates of Arts.
I'm sorry, what college is it?
Nassau, N-A-S-S-A-U.
It's in Long Island.
Right. Garden City.
Did you originally have your wife killed?
No, I did not. I'll put it this way too. I mean, if anything happens to her, that's one of the things I was thinking about on the way over here is like, what the hell am I going to do now? I mean, me battling for custody was also relying on her to be paying me child support at $600 to $700 a month.
I'm right back. I got a call soon. When did you get to your wife's house today?
I'm sorry, what was it?
When did you get to your wife's house today?
When did I get there? I guess about 9.
How did you find your wife?
I didn't. That's where all the everything was roped off or taped off. And when I walked over, like I said, my initial reaction because nobody really looked frantic or anything like that. I mean, I guess it all had already occurred, life had already taken off, whatever. And I honestly thought there was a drug raid or something. So that's why I walked over and didn't think too much of it. And one of the constables told me.
Do you have insurance with Missouri City?
You mean health insurance?
Life insurance?
Probably.
Who's the beneficiary of your policy?
Bar is.
I'm sorry?
Bar.
Do you have any insurance on her?
No.
How much child support do you pay her?
$636 a month, plus maintaining insurance on them too.
Are you up to date on any child support?
Oh yeah. Oh, I also have a $100,000 policy that she's the beneficiary of too.
Where do you work at?
Work out.
Mm-hmm.
Present First Lady.
Where?
Humble, mainly.
You live in the Humble area?
Yeah. Yeah, I live 5 blocks away.
What's your address?
5330 Deer Timbers Trail.
How long have you lived there?
A year and a half.
Your phone number?
852-9089.
Who is Dustin?
Dustin is a name that my son Bradley said was supposedly the person that was in the house that my wife claimed, that ordeal, the robbery deal.
Who are your friends?
Well, I don't have a Dustin friend.
Who are your friends?
No, the only, I guess, character reference you can get would be Rick Orlando.
Do you have a phone number?
361-6922.
How does he work?
He works for Earthman Funeral Directors.
Have any other friends?
Any other people I work with, Steve and Marty.
Is he also a firefighter? Police
Yeah.
officer?
He's just a firefighter. And probably best to reach him at work. He's never at home. It's I'm sorry, do you want his number?
Yeah.
261-4258.
Do you actually run police calls in Missouri City?
Yeah. I usually patrol during the day from 12 to 8. We patrol during the day and sleep at the station at night. Keep a fire gear in the trunk.
These are the only friends you have? Just Rick Orlando and Steve McBride?
I'm trying to think of any good. Ray Thomas. That's the one guy in my house. And I don't know his number now. He just got flooded. He lived in Forest Cove. I can get his number for you. He's with his in-laws.
Did you say he was in your house now?
No. He was the one that was in my house when he heard the people leaving.
What's his phone number?
That's what I don't know. I mean, the phone number to the house that got flooded out was 359-7083, but now he's with his in-laws, and like I said, I don't know that number offhand. I can get it for you though.
How do you know him?
From the gym. I've known him for 5-6 years.
Do you use any kind of steroids or anything?
No, I used to.
How long have you been off?
A year or so since my back surgery. Oh, please no. All mine were legal through doctors. You can check that. I never did the black market.
When do you normally work out at First Lady?
Where?
When?
It varies. Today I worked out at 3. It changes all the time, but most of the time, nighttime, anywhere between 6 and 10, let's say.
Before you went to work for Missouri City, did you work for another police agency?
No.
What type of work did you do?
I also worked for American Airlines, and that was for almost 6 years.
What did you do for them?
Ticket agent.
Did you meet your wife in New York?
No, I met her here in Houston.
Today, did you work today?
No, I was off today.
When you picked up your son at what time? Or your daughter, I'm sorry, Amber?
Amber was before 5, and the boys were about 5. Like I said, she was probably about 4:45. My mother-in-law could probably tell you the time.
What did you do with them?
From there, we went to to my house. I got changed into this because I was wearing my gym clothes. Then went to Wyatt's to eat, and then from Wyatt's went to St. Mary's Church.
What did you do there?
Parent, child type of process for the sacrament of going through confession and stuff. Bradley, my oldest boy, does that. So Amber and Daniel I put into the nursery there at the church, and Bradley did his class, and then he does the children's class, and he goes through our class, and then we meet up for like 15 minutes after that.
How often do they go to class?
This is the second meeting that I've made as a parent. Apparently there's only 3 times the parents meet, and then I have one more time next month. So the first one was last month in October.
How often does your son go?
I don't know, because this is only the second time I brought him. Now, I don't know if my wife brings him any other times. Like I said, I did bring him the last time, which was like 2 weeks ago.
That's a Catholic church?
Yeah, St. Mary's Catholic Church.
What's the name of the father that runs that program?
Paul, I believe. Is that what runs it?
You don't know how long your son's been enrolled in that program?
Well, probably beginning of October. Like I said, I can check the record. I've got the calendar thing. I can tell you exactly when. I just don't know offhand. I wasn't the one that enrolled him. She did.
Do you remember your hire date in Missouri City?
Yeah, it was my hire date and the senior date are 2 different days. Just a second. My hire date was 7/29/85.
Did your wife instruct you to take your son to church tonight?
Yeah, she prearranged it with me. It's just like last time.
And what does your temporary agreement say about custody?
That I get them from 6 till 8 on Wednesdays, and every other weekend picking them up on Friday at 6 o'clock and dropping them off Sunday 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
Right.
Have you talked to your attorney about what permanent child support can be?
Well, there's really no such thing as permanent. I mean, you can file like every year for.
Yeah. What was she asking for child support?
She asked for when she first filed. You have to she filed for divorce, and I never realized she was going to go through with it. So I agreed to pay $600. She then filed for an increase of, I believe, $300 more, which we just went to court for about 6 months ago, and but the judge only granted her $36 extra. And she also asked for $500 a month spousal support. I guess she thinks we're made of money.
You still have feelings for her?
It's starting to hit me now. I mean, I loved her. I mean, I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. I never wanted a divorce. I didn't do anything to warrant a divorce. Yeah, I mean, I still care about her. I mean,
Have you ever hit your wife?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever hit your wife?
I've never hit her or anything else. Never even hardly raised my voice to her. That I can pretty much say I never did raise my voice to her.
Why did she want a divorce?
I guess to sum it up, basically, there was no romance and affection in our marriage. It was more like, I mean, I loved her, I provided for her, took care of her and everything, but I guess we just weren't in love with each other, And whereas to me, I was able to handle it and I guess just told her, look, cope with it. What's the big deal? We don't have the best marriage, but it's far from the worst. She wanted to find somebody to put her on a pedestal and filed for divorce.
How long was it before she started going with this boyfriend?
This David Beach, they've been dating for over 2 years. It's been a while.
And when were you separated?
In February of '92.
How did you feel about that?
I was shocked that she filed for divorce. I mean, I never expected it.
How did you feel about David Dietz?
Indifferent. I mean, he seemed okay. The only things I ever asked were, my children as to how he treated them. I just found out very recently that he did spank Daniel one time, but and aside from, I mean, we never really talked. I offered him the opportunity to talk and even play mediator in this. He declined. When I saw him the other night at Sam's Boat, he was different from other times. I mean, I don't know if he'd just been drinking or if he actually was on coke, because he definitely had a different personality. He was a little more aggressive and talkative.
Is he as large as you were?
Oh, bigger, and he's about 6'2", 220 something.
Does he lift weights?
Yeah, he works out with bar.
She works out?
Yeah.
Have you ever had any kind of physical confrontation with him?
No, not at all.
Do you date?
Yeah.
And your girlfriend's there?
I don't really have a girlfriend right now. In between. It's
You
down
go
to
to clubs?
between. Rarely. The last time I went out was Sam's Boat when I ran into him.
You ever go to tapas bars?
Rarely. I mean, like maybe 5 times in my life.
When you do, where do you go?
I've been to Trophy Club. This is the most recent one. And
How many times have you gone there?
3. And then the Colorado Club like once. That's it. That guy Rick has a friend that works at the Trophy Club, so I went there with him a couple times. But don't tell his wife that.
Who's his friend at the Trophy Club?
I don't even know her name.
Is she a waitress or a dancer?
A waitress.
What's her name? Her first name?
I don't know. Oh wait, hang on. Rhonda is her first name, but I couldn't tell you her last name at all.
Did Rick know the people that own the club?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
What nationality are you?
No, my father was Italian, my mother's Irish and German. I'm American.
How long did your wife work for American Airlines?
She got hired in 81, so it's been 13 years.
What did the doctor at the hospital tell you about your wife's condition?
That it wasn't good, that she had a pulse, and I think he said she had a pulse and was breathing, but it wasn't good. He didn't know if she was going to be a possible vegetable or anything like that. He just didn't know at this time, and that's why I wanted to take the children down to see her, because my father died when I was young, and I regretted not being able to at least be there for that. So I was thinking about letting the boys at least talk to her, and just keep Amber out.
If she dies, how are you going to feel about that?
I feel sad. I mean, like I said, I do still have feelings for her. And I feel very bad for the children. I mean, regardless that things were going, bad with this, regardless that I think she was doing stuff to fuck with me, she's still the mother of my children. I never, would have wanted anything like this to happen. I mean, I still, for some reason, I feel like she knew the person for some reason.
Do you think you had a fair chance of getting custody of your children?
Yeah, I did. And I think she knew it.
Why do you think you had a fair chance?
I guess because we're doing a jury trial instead of a judge, and being with all the different tapes I had, showing her lying and things like that, we were more going to just basically play on the people's that basically, I was a good husband. I didn't do anything wrong to warrant this, and it's only because of her selfishness that she broke up the family, and and plus the different things she's done since the separation, not letting me see the children certain times when I've asked, making me pay to see them, to take them to New York one time to pay the babysitter. I mean, I can't think right now, but I could list dozens of things for you that she's done that we just felt like a jury would be more inclined to empathize for that situation and say, well, okay, you wanted out of the marriage, that's fine, but give your husband the children. So, and I felt pretty good about that.
How did you end up living 3 blocks away from her?
One of my intentions, one of the offerings I made to her, first of all, I just wanted to be close to my children. I was very involved with them, the boys coaching their soccer and baseball. And it was a hassle. When I first moved out, I was living down in Southwest Houston. And I then had to travel up there to coach, and it was a pain in the butt. So besides that, I love the Humble area. I mean, I think it's a real nice area, nice family environment, and I was also thinking positive that I was going to end up with the children. I wanted them to maintain their schools there, the same friends and everything. So what happened was, I decided to, my sister wants to move down, and my other sister moving down, so we decided to go ahead and buy there. And then this way too, my intention was that even with me living close, that we'd still, I at least wanted to be friends. And you have to realize I still never thought the divorce was going to be final, even like a year and a half ago. Things just started getting, bad. And I think basically the closer trial came, I think she started maybe thinking she's going to lose the kids. Because even the mediator awarded joint. Oh, I'm sorry, I started saying something. One of the things that I offered to her, because I didn't really want to take the children away from her either, I said, hey, look, why don't we just do joint custody? You have them for a month, I'll have them for a month. We live 5 blocks away from each other. This way, nobody has to pay child support. The kids still have the same friends, the same school. Let's be friends about this. Let's be amicable. She said no. The mediator that we had granted the joint custody, and they sent a letter to him and to the court accusing him of being biased to women and racially prejudiced because she's Iranian. So, but that's what my intention was just to keep everything amicable.
Who hates your wife enough to kill her?
Nobody I can think of. I mean, I can't think of anybody that hates her.
What's wrong with this picture? Your wife lives in an above average neighborhood, upper middle income neighborhood. I know for a fact the houses go from probably 90 to 150,000. Very little happens out there, I know that for a fact. And your wife is shot out of the clear blue as she's going in the garage. Nothing's taken from her. And for no reason.
Nothing was taken the last time either, except the stupid telephone or something like that.
Yeah.
All I can say is, check her lifestyle. She went out clubbing a lot, got a boob job, flaunted a lot. Supposedly, like I said, according to her, the person that went in last time supposedly knew me. So, I mean, that means he knew her.
Why would somebody have a reason to be mad at you?
I didn't believe that, okay? I mean, I don't think there is. Because to me, if somebody's mad at me and wants me, I'm very easy to get to. I'm listed in the phone book. You got my address, my phone number. The people, like, we discussed already, that are messing with me. Oh, the other thing is, too.
Why is everybody messing with you? I don't understand.
You think I do? All I can do is
All I know is that I'm a homicide investigator. I've been one for 4 years now. I worked as a detective for 6 years before that. I've arrested hundreds, more than 2,000 people, and nobody's ever come to my house and messed with me. It's kind of odd.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
back, a former Missouri City police officer who was convicted of having his wife killed nearly 30 years ago now has an execution date. Robert Fratta is set to be put to death on January 10th, 2023. Fratta hired a hitman to kill his estranged wife, Farah, back in 1994. Investigators said he paid $1,000 and a Jeep for the hit.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and press the notification bell. Additionally, you can view our playlists and most recent videos. Thank you for watching.